Okay, we will bring this meeting to order, regular council meeting for Monday, March the 27th, and we'll just read the land acknowledgement to start with. The town of Innisfail acknowledges that we are meeting on Treaty 7 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We acknowledge that this territory is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3 within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on. I also just want to briefly acknowledge Constable Ryan and Constable Jordan from the Edmonton Police Service. Their regimental funeral is this afternoon, and hope that the coming weeks and months will bring their families some peace and healing. But our thoughts are certainly with them and everyone in Edmonton today. So we will move on to 2.1. Is there any additions or deletions, CEO Becker? No. Could I please have someone make a motion to accept the agenda as presented? Councillor
I'll make that
Messaros?
motion, Mayor Barclay.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, and we will move into 3.1, the minutes for the regular council meeting. Please have someone.
I'll move those minutes, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Bates. Any changes? Okay, all in favor? And then we'll move to 3.2, Agenda and Priorities meeting of March 20th. Please have somebody make a motion to accept those minutes.
I so move, Mayor Barclay.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Harrison. All in favor? Okay, great, thanks. And we will move into 4.1 with the CEO report.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. Hello, Council. Just a few items for your attention. I just want to highlight my experience at the Energy's Futures Lab Fellowship Winter Retreat, which is held in Banff, March 15th to 17th. I want to thank Council for the opportunity to allow me to apply and be part of a pretty unique experience. The few days was as much about inner workings, what's going on in different maneuvers and processes that they put you through to achieve information, as Council got to experience with some of the work with the Innisfail Energy Hub. I just want to highlight a couple things, and this is not capturing the few days, but just a few items. Talk about some of the momentum in relation to the energy, and I won't read everything to you. Of course, the barriers with polarity, etc., which we experience. With the key action items, ideas, discussion, I felt this was with 50 fellows. Certainly can relate to some of that experience and information that we're applying to the Innisfail Energy Hub. So it's pretty cool. The development of regional industrial strategies, which of course with our more localized industrial subdivision developments, address the polarity of energy transition, which reminds me of our community conversations and our education and the trade show work to talk and pull in community with their conversations, the need for private investments and access capital for Indigenous communities, and the need for net zero provincial policy reform. So things we talked about, more localized with our Innisfail Energy Hub. Learned a little bit more about the Bill C-235, which is titled the Building a Green Prairie Economy Act. This legislation was introduced by the late MP Jim Carr out of Manitoba, with the objective is to develop a framework for the provincial or for the prairie provinces to enhance local cooperation, to implement federal programs across various sectors to build a green economy. So the Prairies CAN is looking to pull information. They're looking at engaging with municipalities and other sectors. Very ambitious timeline with a report is scheduled to be delivered at the later part of this year. Of course, joined Councillor Wing, as she previously talked about, with the discovery call with the Calgary Innovates, with more fine detail to be shared with you in camera. So here to answer any questions and on this report or anything else, Council.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for CEO Becker? No, then I please have someone make a motion to accept his report as information.
I would move that council approve the CAO report dated March 27th, 2023 as information.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Wing. All in favor? Great, thank you. Okay, and we will move on to council action control. And when someone's ready, we'll just have a motion, please, to accept this as information.
Mayor Barclay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, carried, thank you. All right, we will move into 5.1 with the 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw with Director Vickers.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Barclay. So this is the 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw for 2023 that I'm bringing forward for you today. So in 2020, Council did award the contract for the 61st Avenue improvements to Central City Asphalt. And at that time, Council directed administration to bring back a special tax bylaw in April of 2021 to recuperate 15% of the paving costs. And this cost will be broken out over 15 years, so it started in 2021 and it is scheduled to end in 2035. At that time, administration did determine that just over $580,000, which is the paving portion of 61st Avenue, would be included in the calculations of the special tax. So the breakdown is as follows, which is also attached to the bylaw as well. So we have the roll number, the total cost, the 15% allocation, and then the per year cost for each of those roll numbers. And this bylaw must be brought annually for approval. So I am looking for first, second, and third readings for 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw.
Okay, thank you, Director Vickers. Could I please have someone make the first motion?
I would be prepared to move that we accept and give 1708-2023 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw first reading.
Easy for you to say. Discussion. Okay, I'm, again, year after year, I'm not going to be supporting this motion. I'll just reiterate what I've stated in the past, that, you know, we've taken other gravel roads in the community and turned them to pavement, and we haven't necessarily charged the people with the frontage. I also believe that our property taxes that we pay goes to community infrastructure, and the industrial part is part of that community. And I would really rather see that we build relationships with these stakeholders in the industrial park, and we've got some pretty big projects ahead, looking at maybe sponsorship and naming rights, and not do this kind of thing. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that, and that's where I sit, and I guess we'll continue to sit. Okay. Councillor Harrison?
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. And just following up to that, as we start to develop what I'm going to call phase 2 of the industrial area, there's probably going to be pavement involved in front of some of that frontage. And I guess the question that I have is, where do we go to from here? We have 61st Avenue that we've are charging for. What's going to happen when we get the services into the next portion of our,
Well,
how are we going to handle that?
I think Councillor Harrison's a little bit different, because that paving would be priced into the lots already, where, you know, this wasn't 25 years ago because it wasn't paved. But I guess that's another part of my argument, is 61st and 37th will both be used even more by the new industrial park users. And, you know, we don't necessarily charge frontage to, or taxes, special taxes to anybody else in the community. And we're going to be maybe looking at a, you know, tax increase in a couple of weeks when the bylaw comes forward for the general tax as well. So anyway, that's where Councillor Bates.
Okay, so I didn't keep records from last year, but what I remember back to 2020 was, of course, all of those lots down there, the prices when they bought them reflected the level of development at the time, which was kind of minimal. There was complete consultation, as I recall, we had records of approval by the vast majority of all of the frontage owners, and only paving was even considered for this special tax. There was an equal amount of upgrading of the roads and ditches and everything else that wasn't even calculated in there. And only a fraction was, back in 2020, I would have probably been more motivated to not even do it, but I think it's such a small fraction of the increased value, and it went through entire due process, and I'm therefore in favor of it.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, I guess that's part of my point. It is such a small portion that sometimes it's the glass of orange juice that ticks people off, not the bigger picture. But anyway, we will ask for a vote. So all in favor? Okay, and opposed? Okay, and we'll go to second reading, please.
Mayor Barclay, I move that council accepts and gives number 1708, 2023, 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw second reading.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion? No? All in favor? Okay, opposed? Okay, unanimous, and we'll go to consideration for third reading, please.
Mayor Barclay, I move that council gives consideration for 1708-202 361st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw, third reading.
Okay, thank you. And I will, all in favor?
Point of order, Your Worship. If I didn't, I thought I saw you oppose the last
Yes.
motion, and you're probably from habit said all in favor or unanimous, and it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
so
it wasn't. Yeah.
it wasn't.
Sorry, did I
Thank
say
you.
that? Sorry,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
No,
you did.
Thank you, okay.
Thank you.
So we're on the third reading, consideration for third reading. All in favor? And I'm going to vote in favor to move us into final reading, because we can't unless it's unanimous. So I'll have the, someone please accept and give third and final to this bylaw.
Mayor Barclay, I move that council accepts and gives 1708-2023 61st Avenue Special Tax Bylaw third and final reading.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, and opposed? Okay. All right, thank you. And we will move on to 5.2.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Barclay. So I am now bringing forward the 37th Street Special Tax Bylaw for 2023. So in 2021, 37th Street reconstruction was completed by Central City Asphalt. And on July 26, 2021, Council directed administration at that time to bring back a special tax bylaw for the 2022 tax year, along with the regular mill rate bylaw to recuperate 15% of the paving cost, just like 61st Ave. This cost was to be broken out over 15 years, starting in 2022 and ending in 2036. So the portion of paving that we included in this was just over $500,000, and it's broken down as follows. So it does have the roll number, the total cost, the 15% cost that we attribute to them, and then each year. And again, this bylaw must be brought annually for approval each year.
Okay, thank you. So we'll have somebody please give first reading.
I'll do that. That council accepts and gives 1707, 2023, 37th Street Special Tax Bylaw first reading.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Messaros. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
I just have one
sorry.
question.
Councillor Bates, yeah.
Through to administration, just to make sure, was there any significant difference in the procedure and the acceptance at the time prior to the paving that we can recall?
It was the same.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, opposed? Okay, one opposed, and we'll move to second reading, please.
I move the council accepts and gives 1707 2023 37th Street Special Tax Bylaw second reading.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? And we'll go to gives consideration for third reading, please.
Mayor Barclay, I would move that council gives consideration for 1707, 2023, 37th Street Special Tax Bylaw, third reading.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. And then we'll move to third and final, please.
Mayor Barclay, I'll move that council accepts and gives 1707-2023, 37th Street Special Tax Bylaw, third and final reading.
All right, thank you. All in favor? And opposed? Okay, thank you. We will move on to correspondence and information. Nice to see number 3, that the grant that came in, not quite what you were expecting, but close. Anybody have any questions about any of the correspondence? If not, I'll please have someone make a motion to accept this as information.
I'll move that we accept this as information, Mayor
Okay.
Barclay.
Thank you, Councillor Messaros. All in favor? Okay, and we will go to council reports, and we'll begin with Councillor Dunham today.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. I was able, even though I was on vacation, to attend our regular council meeting last Monday, which was good to be able to do. We had a lot of important pieces on that agenda. Other than that, my week was very quiet.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. Also a very quiet week. I do have a couple things coming up this week. Of course, I'm attending the cadet parade and inspections at the multiplex in Penhold on Wednesday evening in representation for Mayor Barclay. I got a Parkland Foundation meeting coming up also on Wednesday, and not working at the trade show, but I'll be in and out throughout the weekend. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty busy week for me. Getting back to normal.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Wing.
Yeah, not a lot here either. Last week, of course, included MPC and the Municipal Development Plan Advisory Committee. That work is going along at that preliminary stage quite well. And this week sees Innisfil Library Board meet tomorrow night, and then I'll be attending the Alberta Unis President Summit and Spring Leaders Caucus, as well as the Innisfil Chamber of Commerce Trade Show is coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday.
Perfect, thank you. And Councillor Messaros.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. I attended MPC last week and will be going to the trade show to volunteer this weekend.
Thank you. Councillor Bates.
So last week, just MPC and MDP, all these acronyms. This week I'll attend the latter portion of the Alberta Municipalities Leadership Caucus, just the caucus portion, not the future of, and I'll be doing it virtually. And the trade show, I pretty much plan to spend the whole time there concentrating on the energy hub portion. That's it.
You bringing the car?
I might have it in the parking lot if I
Okay.
can find a space.
Okay. Okay, and thank you, Councillor Harrison, for attending the cadets this upcoming week. Appreciate that. Was at a South Central Mayor's Group meeting in Sundre last week, and also attended a meeting in the end of May, we hope. There's going to be a healthcare career day at Innisfil High School, and there was a meeting last week around that event. So the event would encompass probably 5 stations where high school students can see what it's like to be a healthcare provider. So they may be doing things like suturing pork hocks and giving injections to oranges, and hopefully fire and EMS will participate. I've spoke to CEO Becker about that potential, and I'd also like for the town of Innisfil to consider sponsoring the lunch for that day for 40 kids and volunteers. And would you like a motion for that, CEO Becker? Yeah, so I will make a motion that the town of Innisfil sponsors the lunch for the healthcare career day. The other thing that will happen, just to add one more thing, that there will be a healthcare professional, hopefully one of the physicians, coming at noon hour to speak to the kids and do a short presentation to them. But it's a great day. When I was in Sundre last week, they had the day there. I think they had something like 60 or 65 kids show up. That's a few too many, but our RPAP is doing these days all across Alberta. So lucky to have one scheduled for soon to be scheduled here. So have a motion to sponsor the lunch. Does anybody have any questions about it? Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you. And then had a couple of CAPE meetings last week just around the hiring of a new ED. So hopefully we'll see that announcement coming soon. So we will now go to open mic session. Mr. King, welcome to council today. Do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Mayor Barclay.
Do you want to speak into the microphone, please? Maybe state your name, Ron, in the microphone, and then.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. I got a very pleasant email this morning from one of your administration staff saying that I've been nominated for Citizen of the Year, so I don't know who I'm supposed to thank for that, but I will attend that function. I haven't let Kristen know yet, so I'm going to have to rearrange my holidays because I was going to be away that weekend. And other than that, I'll just put in a personal plug. This is not the place for it, but I'm going to do it anyway. The boob tour is coming up, done, organized and looked after by the Rehberger family for many, many years, and tickets are selling well. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Ron, and congratulations on the nomination. That's great. Okay, we will move into upcoming events. I'll just have somebody please make a motion to accept the events as information.
Mayor Barclay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Bates?
Yeah, just one. The Mountain View Regional Water, that's their AGM, the April 12th, and I don't know if Councillor Harrison would be able to attend. He's obviously invited, but it would be the town paying for him in addition, because it is something that in the past the alternates have come to.
Okay.
So just it won't be the end of the world if you don't. Just
All right, thank you for that. Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you. Then we will have a motion to go in camera, please.
I'll make that motion, Mayor Barclay.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?